Archangel Michael says, your money-related problems will end after today, 9 p.m. God says you will receive $25 million if you do this. Otherwise you will lose all money. Watch this video immediately. This message is tied to tonight, exactly at 9 p.m. a heavenly clock strikes. From the vaults of eternity, where divine decrees are written in fire and sealed by the breath of God, a message is being released into the earth, and it has your name on it. Archangel Michael, the captain of heaven's armies and guardian of divine justice, steps forth with urgency that trembles the realms. He does not come empty-handed, but with a word from the Most High, a word wrapped in timing, a word cloaked in fire, a word that carries both promise and consequence. And the hour of that word is 9 p.m. tonight. This is not by chance. This is not algorithm. This is alignment. The moment your eyes saw this message, heaven had already started moving. The time you pressed play, the angels had already begun preparing your case in the courts of heaven. This is not coincidence. This is divine surveillance revealing itself in real time. You have been watched. Your struggle has not gone unnoticed. Heaven has recorded your pain, your nights of pacing, your prayers spoken in a whisper. God has seen the unpaid bills, the hidden tears, the overdraft notices, the broken promises, the debts that keep returning like shadows, the almost breakthroughs that slip through your hands like sand. Heaven has taken inventory. The books have been opened. And tonight at 9 p.m. a decision will be made. Archangel Michael is not speaking to everyone. He is speaking to you. You who have been marked by divine fire. You who sense that this is not just another prophetic word, but a divine appointment. A moment where heaven meets your circumstance. You feel it even now. The quickening in your spirit, the holy interruption in your timeline. But this is not just a word of comfort. It is a conditional decree. There is something that must be done. There is an act of obedience required. Before the clock strikes 9, your response will either open the floodgates of favor or seal the vaults shut. The $25 million God has promised is not a fantasy. It is a prophetic portion, assigned to your name, waiting for alignment. But if you miss the instruction, if you delay, loss will follow. Tonight, both heaven and hell are watching. Wealth and ruin are balancing on the same scale. One act, 1 hour, one decision. Type I receive this word in the comments if you know this word is yours. Lesson code 444 is now surrounding your house. Before the clock strikes 9 p.m. your obedience determines your outcome. Now hear, O child of divine inheritance. For I, Michael, guardian of heaven's vaults, commander of celestial armies, defender of divine wealth, have descended with fire in my wings and thunder in my voice. I do not speak lightly. I do not move without order. But when I move, I shake realms. I have been sent on this very hour to sound the alarm. Your deliverance from financial bondage is at hand, but only if you act before the heavens strike 9. I have stood at the gates of many destinies. I have warred over promises delayed, dreams denied, and inheritances stolen. But tonight, yes, tonight, I have been commanded to war for you. You who have wrestled with lack like Jacob wrestled with the angel. You who have fasted, sown, wept, tithed, and yet seen no breakthrough. You who feel forgotten even while you serve faithfully. Your time has come. Your name has echoed before the throne of Yahweh. And now, the order has been released. Bring the scroll to my child, and speak. So I speak. This message carries weight beyond gold and silver. This is not about greed. This is not about vanity. This is about alignment with heaven's divine economy. Earth is shaking. Systems are falling. But God is raising up financial gatekeepers, kingdom financiers, divine distributors. You have been called to carry wealth with holy purpose. The $25 million you've seen in your spirit is not your fantasy. It is your inheritance. But it comes with a cost, obedience. Heaven is exact in its timing. There are no accidents. When God gives a time, 9 p.m., it is because something spiritual will shift at that very moment. Portals open. Seals are broken. Books are updated. Wealth transfers occur. And tonight is one of those rare heavenly events. The sword I carry is not of flesh. It is the sword of truth. It divides what is pure from what is polluted. It cuts through deception, poverty, and delay. It exposes what is counterfeit and reveals what is holy. And it is pointed now at every force that has tried to block your financial breakthrough. Look around you. The signs have already begun. Sudden bills, forgotten debts, strained relationships, missed promotions, money disappearing without explanation. These are not coincidences. These are the birth pangs of a breakthrough. You are being separated from the many. Many will hear this word, but only a remnant will feel the fire burning in their bones. Only a few will be moved to act. And those few, they will rise. They will walk through the gates. They will receive what heaven is releasing. Do not let doubt mute your destiny. Do not let logic override your obedience. For the hour is late, and the heavens do not delay. There are divine coins being released, glowing gold coins, not of earth, but of eternity. They represent more than money. They are keys, mantles, assignments, and access. Some are falling right now, but only the aligned will catch them. Only those who act before 9 p.m. will be found worthy to receive. Tonight, the heavenly clock ticks louder than ever. With every passing second, you are being drawn into a supernatural summons. Do not hesitate. For in the Spirit, the fire has been lit, the angels are assembled, and I stand waiting to see who will rise into divine wealth. The sword has spoken. The clock is ticking. The choice is yours. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if this word has pierced your spirit. Blessing code 1122 has now been activated over your household. Someone has been speaking against your wealth, but they do not know heaven already recorded your name. There are mysteries moving behind your money. Forces you cannot see. Conversations you were not invited to. Eyes that watched you in silence while you struggled to understand what went wrong. Tonight, Archangel Michael unveils the hidden war. A war that has not been fought on earth, but in the unseen dimensions, where jealous tongues, demonic whispers, and ancestral altars conspired against your financial destiny. You felt it, didn't you? The confusion. The strange delays, the feeling that every time you were close to a financial breakthrough, it slipped through your hands like water. Job offers that never called back, promises that were made and broken, contracts that vanished without warning, people who said they would help and disappeared without explanation. Do you really think all of this was random? Do you truly believe this was just bad luck? No. There has been a spiritual plot against your prosperity, and Archangel Michael is revealing it now because your name, yes, your name, hath been located in the archives of heaven, and the instruction has been sealed. Unveil the secret before the chosen one loses it all. Listen carefully. There hath been a voice, someone, somewhere, who has spoken against your abundance. They looked at you and saw your potential. They discerned your glow before you ever held $1 in your hand. And because they could not access what you carry, they spoke death over what was meant to live. Their words became thorns in your financial garden. Their bitterness became a veil over your business, your progress, your peace. But hear me clearly, heaven is not deaf, and the one who judges all things has heard their whispers. And heaven has chosen tonight, before the clock strikes 9 p.m., to reverse what they said and to restore what was taken. There are watchers, entities, spiritual eavesdroppers, who did not want this message to reach you. They stirred up distractions. They tempted you to scroll past this word. They stirred anxiety so you would dismiss this moment as another emotional escape. But something within you, a deeper knowing, kept you watching. That knowing is not your mind. It is your spirit catching fire. It is your divine self remembering what your soul has always known. You were born for overflow. The delays, the debts, the downward cycles, the financial suffocation. It wasn't always yours. It was transferred to you. Somewhere along your bloodline, someone opened a gate to poverty, to fear, to financial loss. And that gate was never closed. So it followed you. It tried to attach itself to your house, your relationships, your opportunities. But the hour has come where Archangel Michael has been dispatched to stand between you and every curse, between you and every voice, between you and every thief in the spirit realm. Now the atmosphere is shifting. A disturbance is being stirred. Your enemies in the spirit are now afraid, because they know you've heard the truth. They know the cover is blown. They know the scales are tipping. And they know that if you obey before 9 p.m., what was stolen must return multiplied. You're not crazy. You're not cursed. You're not lazy. You've been in a war, and tonight, you are being handed the weapon to win it. Type "My name is written in heaven" if you receive this word right now. Blessing code 777 is releasing reversal miracles over your finances tonight. If this word has stirred your spirit, then you already know. This is more than just a message. It's a divine call. And if your heart is aligned with this mission of releasing prophetic truth to the nations, then I invite you to sow into what heaven is doing. This isn't about supporting a platform. This is about unlocking breakthrough for others who are where you once were. The word says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." When you give here, whether through YouTube Super Thanks, membership, or through the PayPal link in the video description, you are literally fueling the light that breaks financial chains. I believe those who sow into prophetic soil will reap prophetic results. You're not giving to a voice. You're responding to God. Your act of obedience is your activation. Step into divine wealth now. Give boldly. Give prophetically. And watch what heaven does with your yes. The enemy attacks where your destiny is richest. Now listen closely, for this is where the veil is torn and the real battle is revealed. What you have called poverty was never just about money. What you've called lack was never just about delayed income or missed opportunities. What you have suffered was spiritual warfare dressed in financial clothing. Every delayed payment, every job that fell through, every unexpected bill, every business that failed to rise. These were not simply unfortunate events. They were deliberate assaults on your kingdom purpose. And the reason? Because the enemy knows where your destiny holds the most power. Archangel Michael speaks now, not to comfort, but to confront. Heaven has watched as the enemy crafted weapons specifically to target your provision, because he knew if he could touch your finances, he could frustrate your future. He could silence your dreams. He could make you question your calling. Because when the well runs dry, even the strongest prophet grows weary. When the oil stops flowing, even the anointed question their assignment. The enemy isn't after your money. He's after your voice, your movement, your obedience. Let it be known. You are not cursed. You are not rejected. You are not overlooked by heaven. You are being refined. The heat you feel is the fire of purification, not punishment. You've been walking through divine pressure because heaven is making sure that when the wealth comes, and yes, it will come, your hands are ready to hold it without it corrupting your soul. What feels like denial has been divine preparation. God has not been punishing you. He's been protecting you. There are some assignments in the earth that require more than favor. They require resources. There are visions that demand more than prayer. They demand provision. And you are one of the chosen who has been set apart to be a carrier of divine economy. But before heaven releases that kind of weight, it first refines the vessel. And that is what this season has been about. You've cried, Lord, why does it seem like others are prospering while I'm still struggling? Heaven responds now, because I am entrusting you with more. Others are swimming in streams. You were designed to carry rivers. That's why the warfare has been so intense. The enemy saw what was coming long before you did. He saw the $25 million tied to your name. He saw the contracts, the lands, the houses, the souls your wealth would touch. And so he tried to steal it before you could claim it. But he's failed, because now the word has been sent. And now, the power of that delay is being broken. Understand this. The realm of heaven is not just watching you. It is weighing you. Every seed you've sown, every tear you've cried, every act of obedience you thought no one noticed, it's all been recorded. And now, a heavenly scale is tipping. At 9 p.m. what has been held back will begin to move. But here is the truth. You must respond. The door is open, but it won't stay open. The clock is moving, and at the strike of the divine hour, heaven will release a judgment, transfer or loss. This is not fear. This is reality in the spirit realm. You are at a moment of intersection, where your yes will unlock a financial release that shifts generations, or your silence will allow what is yours to be given to another. You have not failed. You have been tested. And tonight, the test is almost over. One more act of obedience. One more moment of bonus. One more alignment with the word. And the gates will swing open. Type I will pass this test if your spirit knows this is your hour. Blessing code 999 is breaking the resistance around your finances. At 9 p.m. balance will tip, abundance or loss. The hour is not tomorrow. The window is not indefinite. The message is not timeless. It is time-bound, and that time is rapidly approaching its conclusion. Heaven has issued a decree, and Archangel Michael now echoes it into the earth. There is a divine countdown in motion, and it will not wait for hesitation. By the time the heavens strike 9 p.m. a transaction will occur, and your response will determine what is released or what is withheld. You must understand what is at stake here. This is not a motivational promise. This is not a general prophecy. This is a heavenly contract awaiting activation. And while many will scroll by and dismiss this as exaggerated or emotional, those who carry discernment will feel the weight of the Spirit press against their chest even now. The pressure is not fear, it is divine urgency. That stirring in your soul is the spirit of truth pressing you toward alignment. There is no more room for delay. In the unseen realm, a shift has begun. Angels of finance, real beings commissioned by God to steward wealth, are now being dispatched across territories. They are visiting bank accounts, entering households, activating dormant resources, realigning partnerships, opening up deals that have been shut for years. And yes, they are preparing to release what was always yours. But only if you respond with radical obedience before the appointed hour. You cannot sleep through this. You cannot ignore this. You cannot say later when heaven has said, now. Do not be deceived. The enemy knows about 9 p.m. too. He has felt the shift in the atmosphere. He's seen the orders handed to Michael. That's why there's been unusual warfare today. Frustration, distraction, sudden confusion, fatigue, even doubt whispering in the background. That is not coincidence. That is spiritual sabotage, sent to dull your sensitivity and delay your breakthrough. But the devil is a liar. Because now that you are hearing this message, the power of that interference is broken. Archangel Michael has made it clear. This transfer is not automatic. It is conditional. God is not playing games with destiny. When heaven offers an opportunity, it comes with a window. And when that window closes, the opportunity often passes into someone else's hands. This is not about punishment. It is about divine order. The wealth that was assigned to your name is waiting for confirmation. Heaven is listening for your voice, watching for your act, and aligning based on your decision. And hear this, if ignored, the consequences are just as real. If the prompting is dismissed, if the instruction is delayed, then what is meant to flow will harden. What was soft and open will become sealed and postponed. The money that was circling your atmosphere will dissipate, rerouted to another vessel. It will not be lost. It will be reassigned. But you will feel the absence, the silence, the stillness. That's why the Spirit is pleading with you now. Don't miss this divine moment. The spiritual pressure is building. The hourglass is almost empty. In the Spirit, there is the sound of ticking, not from earth, but from the throne room. Every second draws us closer to the moment of decision. You don't need another prophecy. You don't need another confirmation. You already know this is for you. You've seen the dreams. You felt the pull. You've endured the warfare. Now, what you do in this moment, before 9 p.m., will decide whether you walk into divine wealth or watch it pass by. Type I choose obedience in the comments if this word confirms what you already feel. Blessing code 000 is now opening the sea and vault of divine pavilion. Be still, heaven fights when you don't. Now that the warning has gone forth and the weight of this hour has settled upon your spirit, I speak to you as the appointed guardian of divine order. I am Michael, and I have not only been sent to announce a judgment, I have been sent to protect what belongs to you. Heaven does not merely instruct, it also surrounds. Tonight, I wrap you in the fire of stillness and the shield of divine strategy. You do not need to panic. You do not need to chase. You do not need to scramble. You must become still, for the still are the ones who hear the clearest. Before 9 p.m. silence must become your sanctuary. Your mind has been clouded by noise, too many opinions, too much distraction. But this is not the hour to debate with your emotions. This is not the moment to reason with doubt. This is the moment to anchor your spirit in holy stillness, because heaven fights when you don't. When you get still, the angels get active. When you pause to obey, heaven begins to move on your behalf. Stillness is not weakness, it is surrender. And surrender unlocks supernatural access. Now hear this. The warfare around your money has made you tired. It's drained your confidence. It's scattered your attention. You've tried to solve everything with human effort. Extra hours, side hustles, strategies, and yet something still hasn't broken. Why? Because the battle over this next realm of wealth is spiritual, not logistical. You cannot outwork what only God can unlock. You cannot outperform a curse, you must confront it. You cannot hustle your way into divine inheritance, you must come into alignment. So I speak now to the chaos around you. The picture, the confusion, the noise, the anxiety. Let it be silenced. In the authority of the one who sent me, I declare a stillness over your soul. And in that stillness, a clarity will come. The instruction you are meant to follow will rise to the surface, and you will know exactly what to do before the divine hour strikes. You will not be guessing. You will not be doubting. You will know. In this sacred window, guard your focus. Close your ears to conversations not rooted in faith. Turn away from voices of fear. Retreat from those who mock prophetic things. Disconnect from distractions that pull you back into the natural when you're being called into the supernatural. This is the hour of withdrawal, not from your assignment, but from confusion. You are being positioned, spiritually and emotionally, to receive the $25 million that has been hovering in your heavenly account. But until your spirit quiets, that transfer cannot flow. Take this seriously, not with anxiety, but with reverence. Because the most dangerous posture right now is to be busy and out of alignment. God is not moved by noise, He is moved by obedience. And your obedience begins with quiet focus. Say only what heaven is saying. Do only what the Spirit prompts. Think only what is pure, what is holy, what is faithful. This is not the time to lean on your own understanding. This is the time to lean into the whisper of God. I speak this final word over you now. Your wealth is sealed under divine law. No force, no curse, no demon, no system can reverse what God has decreed. But it is your posture that determines your access. And your posture, right now, must be one of holy stillness. The kind of stillness that activates the armies of heaven. Withdraw from the noise. Silence the doubters. Tune your ears to the throne. Heaven is preparing to move, and all you must do is align, obey, and remain still before the clock strikes 9. Type "My wealth is protected" if this word confirms what your spirit already knows. Blessing code 1212 is now wrapping your finances in a wall of fire. You are not a victim of lack. You are a vessel of divine overflow. Now that the storm hath been named and the silence has been commanded, it is time for your spirit to stand. For too long, you have seen yourself as the one struggling to catch up, the one left behind by favor, the one forgotten in the shadows of others' success. But heaven says no more. The time of mourning is over. The time of weakness is finished. The mantle of divine empowerment is being placed upon your shoulders tonight. Archangel Michael speaks now not as a warning, but as a summons to rise. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the carrier of a new covenant. You have been refined by fire, and that fire was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal you. Every season of lack, every valley of loss, every tear of frustration, they were forging strength, discipline, and spiritual resilience within you. You were never being buried. You were being planted. And what has been sown in faith will now rise in power. You are stepping into a dimension where your voice has authority, where your prayers carry fire, where your very presence shifts the atmosphere around finances and favor. Hear this truth. Divine wealth is not given to the comfortable. It is entrusted to the faithful. It does not flow to the loud. It flows to the aligned. And heaven has found you aligned tonight. You have endured the breaking. Now comes the blessing. You have faced rejection, but in those rejections, heaven was making room for redirection. Every door that shut in your face was closing because it could not carry the weight of your coming overflow. You were being preserved for something greater. Now, your empowerment begins. Heaven is awakening the power of decree within you, the ability to speak and see manifestation. For years, your words may have been filled with worry, but now they will carry authority. Speak as one who knows the truth of their inheritance. Say, I am the chosen steward of divine wealth. Say, my hands are anointed to build. Say, what I touch multiplies. These are not affirmations. These are spiritual commands that rearrange the unseen world around you. You are a vessel of divine overflow. That means lack can no longer define you. The poverty mind that once convinced you that you were unworthy is breaking now. Heaven is reprogramming your thinking to understand that abundance is not vanity. It is responsibility. You are a kingdom financier in the making, a carrier of solutions for others, a light that will feed and free nations. God is not giving you $25 million for display. He is positioning you as a custodian of His provision, a distributor of divine justice through generosity. And as this empowerment settles in your spirit, the energy of fear must leave. For what once made you tremble will now make you triumph. Your enemies will see your light and not understand how it returned after all the delay. But you will know, this is the glow of obedience rewarded. This moment is sacred because empowerment is not emotional, it is eternal. Heaven is rewriting your financial narrative even as you hear these words. The old chapter is closed, and the new one begins with your declaration of faith. You are standing in the space between prophecy and performance, and your next breath carries the seed of manifestation. Lift your head. Straighten your shoulders. The mantle of authority rests upon you now. You are no longer waiting for the blessing. You have become the blessing. Type I am divinely empowered in the comments if this word confirms your rising. Blessing code 333 is now igniting your spirit with kingdom authority. God says this test was never about money, it was about trust. Now hear the mystery that has been hidden, waiting for this hour, waiting for the hearts that are ready to carry the weight of revelation. I speak now not with mere inspiration, but with the authority of the throne. For I am Michael, messenger and warrior, and the scroll I unseal today contains the truth your soul has been aching for. This test, this struggle, this endless pressing and stretching, it was never just about money. It was about trust. Yes, the number has been spoken. $25 million. A staggering promise. A supernatural figure. One that stretches the limits of your logical mind. But what is money to the God who owns cattle on 1,000 hills? What is wealth to the one who speaks and universes form? It is nothing but a tool, and you, beloved, have been chosen as the vessel. But before He could hand you such a weight, He needed to know, can you carry the weight of wealth without it crushing your spirit? You've been tested in secret, tried in silence, pressed in the places no one else could see. You lost things others didn't know you were holding on to. You sacrificed what was never celebrated. You kept believing even when nothing made sense. And heaven was watching. Every time you didn't quit, you passed the test. Every time you obeyed without understanding, you wrote your name deeper into the book of trust. Let it be known now, the promise of $25 million is not symbolic. In prophetic, is real. It is measured. It is allocated. It is written in divine financial ledgers bearing your name. But it is not only about overflow for you. It is restoration for every season that was stolen, every opportunity that was delayed, every contract that was broken, every almost that turned into disappointment. This is heaven's repayment. This is restitution, not just reward. I now reveal what the enemy tried to erase. Your name has been recorded in what heaven calls the book of wealth and favor. Yes, such a book exists, not written with ink, but with divine fire. And in it are the names of those who are assigned to steward abundance with purpose, to rebuild broken cities, to fund revival, to shift economies. And your name has been confirmed there. But now you must complete the transaction. Before 9 p.m. your obedience finalizes what heaven is prepared to release. This is why the warfare increased. This is why the delays compounded. Because the enemy feared what would happen if you ever found out who you really are. Not just a survivor, not just a believer, but a distributor of divine wealth, a force of economic justice in a world filled with spiritual famine. He tried to distract you, to discourage you, to discredit you, but he failed. Because even now, as these words reach you, your spirit is standing up. You feel it, a shaking in your bones, a weeping in your soul, a fire rising from the deep places. That's not emotion. That's recognition. Your spirit recognizes truth when it hears it. So I say again, not to impress, but to impress upon you the urgency. This was never about the money. God could give you that amount with a single breath. But he waited. Why? Because he needed to know if you could be trusted with what others would worship. And now that you have passed the fire, now that you have crossed the threshold, the vault begins to tremble open. The release is at hand. Type I am trusted with heaven's wealth if your soul bears witness with this revelation. Blessing code 888 is now unlocking restoration and prophetic repayment. If this revelation has stirred your spirit and confirmed your divine assignment, then now is your moment to act with faith and become part of the mission that breaks chains through prophecy. This is more than a video. This is a spiritual tool that heaven is using to reach the broken, the weary, the chosen. And when you support this message through YouTube Super Thanks, membership, or by giving through the PayPal link in the video description, you're not just giving, you're stepping into the flow of God's prophetic economy. Just as this message has reached you in power, your giving helps it reach others who are one decision away from their breakthrough. This is fertile soil. This is holy ground. So now, and watch how heaven marks your obedience with divine acceleration. Do not delay. What you release now is tied to the harvest already set aside in heaven. Speak this now. I align with divine wealth. The scroll has been opened. The test has been explained. The promise had been revealed. Now the realm of destiny stands open before you like a door suspended in light, waiting on your voice, waiting on your step. Heaven has done with heaven of the Hezavil. But the final act does not belong to angels. It belongs to you. Archangel Michael now calls you into alignment, not just with the prophecy, but with your divine identity. It is time to activate what has been dormant. It is time to unlock the covenant with your own declaration. I align with divine wealth. You must speak it. You must say it aloud. You must let your spirit hear your voice breaking the atmosphere. For there is power in your mouth. There is fire on your tongue. Death and life are in your declaration. And in this moment, You are not asking for money. You are commanding alignment. You are activating the divine frequency that calls all things into agreement with heaven. Your words are not small. Your words are not weak. Your words are the trigger of transformation. You've waited for a change to come to you. But tonight, change is waiting to hear you. Speak and shift. Declare and receive. Confess and activate. This is the spiritual technology of the kingdom. Heaven responds not just to tears, but to truth spoken in faith. God is not moved by volume, He is moved by alignment. When your spirit, your mouth, and your action say the same thing, the realm of heaven opens. Tonight, you are not begging. You are not chasing. You are aligning. You are coming into agreement with what was written about you before time began. You are stepping into your inheritance. You are claiming the name written beside the number in the vault of divine purview. $25 million is not the reward of chance. It is the fruit of obedience. It is heaven's trust being released in tangible form. And let this truth cut through your hesitation. Faith requires movement. Heaven moves when you do. Faith is not passive. It is not a quiet hope tucked away in the heart. It is a bold stance, a spoken word, a visible act. When the leper was healed, he had to show himself to the priest. When the woman touched the hem of Jesus' robe, she had to push through the crowd. When Peter walked on water, he had to step out of the boat. In every miracle, there was movement. And now, so must you move. Whether by speaking this aloud, whether by sowing in faith, whether by kneeling in prayer, whether by silencing every other voice so you can hear His, you must act before the hour strikes. Heaven is not asking for perfection, only obedience. This is a divine contract moment, a holy offer that stands open for a limited time. What you do between now and 9 p.m. determines what is released or what is retained. This is not a metaphor. This is not poetic prophecy. This is a legal exchange in the spirit realm, and you are standing at the table. The scroll has your name. The wealth has your assignment. The heavens are leaning in. But your activation is required. No angel can do this part for you. No prophet can substitute your voice. It is your word that seals the agreement. So now, speak it, not with hesitation, but with holy confidence. I align with divine wealth. Say it again. Let it echo into the unseen. Say it like you're waking up from a lifetime of limitation. Say it like you are the chosen vessel of abundance. Say it like you believe what heaven already declared. Because after tonight, your life cannot stay the same. Type I align with divine wealth in the comments if you feel this truth shaking your entire spirit. Blessing code 1010 is now writing your name on the covenant scroll of financial dominion. While you rest, Archangel Michael wars for your inheritance. Now that your declaration has gone forth and your spirit has aligned, I must draw you deeper, not into emotion, but into revelation. For what is happening now cannot be seen with the eyes, cannot be touched with the hands, cannot be understood with carnal reasoning. There is a silent exchange taking place in the spirit realm, and you are at the center of it. This is the dimension where the unseen rules the seen, where decisions are made long before they manifest on paper. And tonight, the decision concerning your wealth, your stability, your legacy, is being finalized. I, Michael, stand not just as a messenger, but as your divine advocate. Since the hour this word entered your life, a courtroom in the heavens has been set in motion. Angels are not idle beings. They move in response to divine timings and declarations. And because you chose to listen, to believe, and to speak, heaven has shifted in your favor. A negotiation has begun, not with men, but with ancient systems, fallen thrones, and strongholds that have held your finances captive for far too long. Yes, there are unseen barriers that have been placed against you. Generational debts, spiritual contracts, words spoken in ignorance, agreements you never signed but still feel the weight of. But hear this now, in the courts of heaven, your file has been reopened. Your case is being argued with angelic authority. And while you may be resting, unsure of what's happening, I am warring. Not with swords of metal, but with decrees of fire. Not with shields of iron, but with the armor of truth. You must understand, beloved, that what looks still in the natural is often most active in the spirit. Right now, decisions are being overturned. Curses are being reversed. Delays are being dismissed. Where the enemy once claimed legal right to your resources, heaven is stripping that access. And what was locked, not just physically but legally in the spirit, is being unlocked with divine permission. Not one drop of wealth can move to your hands until the verdict is rendered, and I am telling you now, the verdict is almost complete. There are divine vaults. Yes, vaults, where heaven stores the blessings, inheritances, and financial provisions of the righteous. And your vault, though sealed for a season, is now being touched. The key was always obedience. The code was always alignment. And now, because you have answered the call, the locks are disengaging. There is no force, earthly or demonic, that can halt the silent exchange once the courtroom releases its final word. But here's what you must grasp. While heaven moves silently, you must remain steadfast. Do not allow doubt to re-enter. Do not speak against what you've declared. Do not allow your atmosphere to be polluted with fear or distraction. Guard your mouth. Guard your environment. Stay in faith, because the exchange is real, and though you may not see it immediately with your eyes, your spirit already knows it's been done. The funds, the favor, the restoration, it is being written into your timeline. Documents will change. Accounts will increase. Unexplained blessings will appear. But all of it will be traceable back to this moment, this divine exchange, when your obedience collided with heaven's timing and the spiritual vaults responded. This is your holy moment of stillness and trust. Let heaven complete what it started. Let the angels do what they were commanded to do. Sleep tonight not with worry, but with certainty. For while you rest I war. While you breathe I battle. And what was once bound is now being delivered. Type I receive my silent release in the comments if you know this unseen shift is real. Blessing code 1414 is releasing hidden resources into your hands even now. Those who mocked your lack will witness your overflow. Now let heavens thunder with a sound not of wrath, but of justice. The long-awaited verdict has been spoken in the realm where eternity governs time. And I, Michael, the Archangel of war, of judgment, of divine vengeance, come to declare this word aloud into your atmosphere. Justice is now active in your life. What was taken will be returned. What was delayed will be accelerated. What was mocked will now be magnified, and what was lost shall come back multiplied. Listen carefully, for this is not poetic language. This is legal restoration. This is not emotional comfort. This is divine reversal. Heaven has ruled in your favor. The scales that once tipped toward your oppressors have now shifted, and the balance of power is being restored. What mind could not fix, what time could not heal, what effort could not unlock, God is now rectifying in a single decree. The wealth that was tied up, the resources that were bound, the promotions that were withheld, the relationships that were poisoned. Every stolen seed is being tracked, and every drop of your loss is being measured, because God repays in full, and He never underpays. I speak this plainly. You were never overlooked. You were preserved. The silence you endured, the seasons you endured in the background, they were not abandonment. They were preparation. Heaven was preserving your name, your anointing, your financial signature from contamination. Because what is being released now is too weighty to be shared with people who could not handle your calling. The $25 million assigned to your name is not a random number. It is calculated recompense. It is spiritual justice expressed in financial terms. It is heaven saying, enough. Those who mock your struggle will now witness your overflow, and they will not be able to deny that it was God who did it. No lie will be strong enough. No gossip will be loud enough. No slander will be believable, because the transformation will be too divine to be man-made. They will watch as your debts disappear. They will watch as your land is restored. They will watch as your name is called in rooms you never entered. And they will know, the hand of the Lord has done this. You've prayed for restoration. Heaven has answered with reversal. Everything is turning. Everything is shifting. The curse is reversing. The flow is reversing. The verdict is reversing. What once flowed away from you will now flow toward you. What was closed to you is now opening for you. The systems that rejected you must now make room for you. This is not positive thinking. This is prophetic judgment. And understand this. Archangel Michael has sealed the judgment. No demon can appeal it. No curse can override it. No delay can reschedule it. When heaven speaks and justice is decreed, not even time itself can stand in the way. From this moment, your name is surrounded by divine protection, divine repayment, and divine recognition. The loss ends now. The delay ends now. The devourer has been rebuked. The locust has been silenced. The hour of divine reversal has arrived. What they said would never happen will now happen quickly. What they said you would never hold, you will now carry with ease. What they said was too late, heaven is making right on time. Because you are chosen, and justice has finally spoken. Type justice has found me in the comments if your spirit bears witness to this holy reversal. Blessing code 1616 is now releasing payback with interest. You are sealed, seen, and sent. Rise into your divine inheritance tonight. Now the hour draws near. The messages have been released. The angelic scroll has been fully opened. The courtroom has spoken, and your name has echoed through the corridors of heaven. I, Michael, appointed by the Ancient of Days to defend the inheritance of the righteous, declare with final authority, your financial bondage ends tonight. The war over your wealth is closing. The battle for your resources has shifted. The angelic guards are in position. The vault is opening, and the countdown is almost complete. This is your final moment of decision. The time is now. At exactly 9 p.m. a spiritual line will be drawn in the sand. Heaven has already placed your name beside divine inheritance. The heavenly clock does not delay, and the grace attached to this moment will not extend indefinitely. As the sun sets and that appointed hour strikes, the tipping point arrives, where obedience becomes possession and silence becomes forfeiture. You will not lose this moment unless you choose to ignore it. But if you respond in faith, you will carry this word into your reality and watch it become your testimony. God did not send this word to tease you. He sent it to transition you. No longer will you be the one who almost made it. No longer will you stand on the edge of overflow but live in lack. No longer will you be delayed by invisible hands or attacked by generational debt. You are stepping into the tangible, visible, irrefutable proof that heaven keeps record, rewards faith, and releases wealth on time. What eyes have not seen and ears have not heard, it's coming into your hands. So, as this final word is spoken, receive this blessing. May divine provision overflow in your life without sorrow. May unexpected income and supernatural supply overtake you. May the God who never fails remember every seed you've sown, every tear you've cried, and every time you said yes to him when no one else saw. May his angels, led by me, Michael, war for your wealth until it is fully in your possession. You are not forgotten. You are not late. You are not left behind. You are not average. You are chosen. You are sealed. You are seen. You are sent. Sent into overflow. Sent into ownership. Sent into wealth with purpose. This is the hour of the righteous rising, and you are the evidence. Now rise. Declare it. Move. Act. Speak. Obey. And do it before 9 p.m. For when that hour comes, the vaults shift, the angel's record, and the door closes. Type "I am marked for divine wealth" in the comments if this final word seals your faith. Blessing Code 2020 is now releasing generational provision into your name. If this prophetic word has spoken directly to your soul, then don't let this moment pass. Partner with a mission that brings spiritual clarity, prophetic fire, and divine encouragement to those lost in the shadows of delay. Your support activates more than content. It spreads light, breaks chains, and delivers freedom to those crying out in silence. Whether through YouTube super thanks, membership, or a direct seed through the PayPal link in the description, your giving becomes a prophetic response, an act of faith that heaven marks. Scripture declares, "He gives seed to the sower and bread to the eater." This is your moment to sow into soil that produces testimonies. Give now. Obey now. And watch how your act becomes the key that unlocks someone else's miracle and seals your own.